Well, GOP Congressman Gohmert turned up the heat on the Attorney General today, raising serious concerns about Robert Mueller and Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein, among others. He joins us now to talk about that and the special chart he had today, and you brought a copy with you. Good to see you, Congressman. Thanks for coming in.
Great to see you too, Shannon.
All right, listen, there are all kinds of things on here. Russia, IRS, President Obama, Hillary Clinton, all kinds of things.
All connected.
Right, and there's some critics today who went through this chart and they weren't too impressed. They didn't know why you threw in some other things like Huma Abedin and other. They didn't understand how that was all connected.
It is.
But you were really hard on the Attorney General because he took it from the left and the right today, and you want to see more from him. What is this all about?
Well, it's just that the more you get into this, the more clear it is. This should be the item that had a special prosecutor, and in fact, we ought to be looking at Mr. Mueller. We ought to be looking at Mr. Rosenstein because, Shannon, this is a motion to seal records. This is information about the deal with Russia, the effort of Russia to corner the market on uranium. And
right, who's asking to seal them?
Pardon?
Who's asking to seal them?
Well, the name right there says Rod Rosenstein, and it has his assistant U.S. attorney, Adam Akey, that signed on his behalf.
Are you saying?
And they got I'm saying
you don't think they can be objective?
They were so involved in the initial investigation of Russia trying to corner the market that should have prevented Hillary Clinton from, and Eric Holder and others, from approving the sale of our uranium to Uranium One and ultimately with Russia. So with all the information they have and the sworn evidence they have sealed, I think they were knowing down the road if somebody goes back snooping and says you should never have allowed this uranium to be sold to Russia, gee, you had all this evidence. Well, they won't be able to see the evidence because they got a judge to seal it. And of course, Mueller, the FBI director that was involved in this investigation. So it's the biggest scandal that there's ever been in American history. It makes Teapot Dome look like just nothing but a whistle instead of a teapot.
So do you think that Mueller and Rosenstein need to step away from these investigations completely? Do you want a separate special counsel for different parts of the investigation?
Well, one of the things that I liked what I heard today was Attorney General Jeff Sessions basically saying, well, there's part of this I think that I can investigate, and it sounds like, and I'm encouraged that Jeff, the Attorney General Sessions, is digging in himself, and we're now finding out actually they've been investigating some of this. But not only do I think that Mueller and Rosenstein need to step down, it appears they need to be investigated as well. And we know from the FBI, well, the regulations that control special counsel and counsel in general at the DOJ, you cannot investigate anything if, for example, you have a close friend that would be in the investigation. Comey's central to all of this, and Comey's got to be investigated. He admitted that he leaked information to the New York Times, and it turns out there's, if you look at the FBI contract that he had to agree to, it's very clear the memorandum he did belongs to the FBI, and he leaked an official FBI document.
I don't think, and you probably don't think either, there's any reason or any way these gentlemen would step away from the duties they've been assigned and the roles they've been assigned. So that leaves us with talking about who could get rid of them. And you know there's so much talk that if the president stepped in and pushed them away, Lindsey Graham over on the Senate side says it'd be holy hell to pay, that it's going to look terrible. Just
exactly right.
Let them finish.
About you and your show, you cut right to the chase.
And we have great guests too.
Well, but Mueller has known that, and if you look at the actions he's taken, the very day James Comey testified on the Hill that there was no evidence at all of collusion between Donald Trump and the Russians, then there were people that were immediately screaming, hey, why do we need a special counsel? We don't. Mueller's got to go. So what happens? That night, Mueller, or one of those working for him, leaked out, I am now investigating Trump for obstruction of justice. I told the president, The reason that he leaked that out was so that you could not now fire him, as some people were advocating, because then it would appear like another Saturday Night Massacre, and gee, now we got to impeach Trump because he. So you, as I told you, you cannot fire him now because he set this up.
Right, the perception there would be a lot of trouble for the White House.
But we do need somebody to investigate Mueller, and as somebody starts investigating Mueller and they see the trail that Mueller has laid and left behind, including Mr. Rosenstein, then it will be very clear. It won't be the president asking them to step down. It'll be very clear they can't be investigating when they're a target.
Well, listen, we're going to need a little bit more time to continue investigating this, but we will, because people need to know. It's all connected.
All connected.
Congressman Gohmert, it's great to have you in.
Shannon, it's great to be with you.